correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPG, the podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. The setting of this campaign, Origin, is inspired by West African cultures, histories, and aesthetics. None of the players, and certainly not myself, have lived experience or even ancestry from that part of the world. While Origin is part of the canonical setting for Exalted, I've drawn on real-world West African traditions to help bring the setting more fully to life. This isn't meant to be an accurate historical or cultural portrayal, and it is definitely not a commentary on any real-world nations, peoples, or beliefs. One key difference is theological. While Timbuktu and the surrounding regions were deeply shaped by the arrival of Islam, Exalted has its own divine and mythological structure that plays out very differently. My hope is to approach these inspirations with respect and care, and I welcome feedback if I fall short. In the session notes, there will be a short list of resources to learn about the real history of West Africa and the Sahel. Thank you. All right. I guess we can start playing then.
So yeah, you have cleaned out a good chunk of Jarek's stock here. So, Jen, what's your character going to be up to?
Let's see. So, I'll be. I know that he's more than capable of pulling off the heist, but I will be skulking in the vicinity with Hellbore.
Which, by the way, Makala seemed to almost vanish out from under Hellbore. Like, he has no idea what happened to Makala.
Okay, I mean, that doesn't really surprise me. I kind of figured that might be the case, just 'cause. But yeah.
All right.
And I will be skulking about, just making sure that if there are any distractions needed or anything, I will be ready to help. And then...
is Finn going to be involved in this little shindig at all, or are you going to stick to dealing with the mercenaries? Sarcastic?
I see he's muted, but he does that.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. My son was doing something. But
oh yeah, it happens. I was going to say, are you going to be involved in any of this?
I mean, if it's kind of a established thing, yeah, he'll be kind of doing security, I guess, in the area, making sure he's nearby if something goes wrong.
Okay.
But he's not going to try to be obvious about it. It's going to be probably at a local watering hole with a couple of other men.
All right. So yeah, Steve, Wonder Cyclone's going to get out with a satchel of mixed quality gems and the wrong gem.
The wrong gem. I love it.
That sounds like a noir novel.
The gem that just feels weird. So, is anybody going to check up on this, come see the scene the next day? Anybody going to return to the scene of the crime?
Oh, hell yes. Did you not see the whole nosy? Have I not set up the fact that my character is nosy AF?
Yeah, so someone is kind of pissed. Madu Jarek is yelling at people, much along the lines of what I suggested he might be yelling. How do you not notice somebody rolled in here and stole a couple hundred gems? What is wrong with all of you? So He is pissed.
This makes me wish I had larceny charms so that in the midst of all of this screaming and shouting, I could sneak in, steal a few things, and leave.
Yeah.
Just because I think that would be hysterical. But I don't have those larceny charms.
I think, and this isn't a priority thing, but I want to find out where he lives, and eventually I want to rob his house as well.
Okay, yeah. Not
You
a
know,
problem.
like specifically, like if he has a nice rug in his bed chambers, I want to take that.
Mm.
You know, just to kind of get the message to him, someone is messing with you. It's not just luck of the draw.
All right.
You know, but that's a down the road, more for personal amusement than actual gain goal.
See, if you're gonna do that, it'd have been cool to steal the drop gems he had, and then maybe make a necklace and like leave it there and be like, for the wife.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
I like the way you think.
Pettiness is
that would be highly amusing.
All right. So then I assume you're going to send the note to Makala that says,
Yes.
I have things to be looked at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Once they fit at this point, Will want to meet with Cyclone about their interaction with the Paymaster.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of letting Cyclone know that there's someone else we need to watch, and you know, maybe this person has some. You were looking for places to relieve of monetary value, or maybe get into and look at the contracts of this Paymaster.
Is a potential. I mean,
he's certainly going to be a threat, and at least in the long run, if not.
Oh, absolutely, definitely worth keeping an eye on. I hesitate to antagonize that level just yet until we've built up a bit more support, if you will. And I assume at this point we're back at headquarters. I think, you know, as we've had, you know, this conversation, I think Cyclone will pull out this gem and go, by the way, Fed, I don't know exactly what all you're knowledgeable with, and you know, if Saelen's there obviously as well, but well, I came across this the other night, and well, it just seems odd to me. You by chance know anything of such things? I know stones of value to a point, but this seems different and perhaps special in some way, and pull out that specific gem, the wrong gem as we're calling it, and you know, set it on the table or whatever, as we're, I'm sure, you know, in a private office type thing.
So identifying it is an intelligence plus occult roll. Difficulty 3.
I will take a shot.
Well, I would be rolling 2 dice.
Yeah?
You don't want to know what Finn's rolling.
I just, you know, like, I feel like, you know, yeah.
You might go play soccer with it, you never know. I'm not sure there's anything we could do to help with the roll, but...
Oh, I can. Give me just a second.
Yep. You can also use excellencies if you got them.
I'm looking. Hold on.
That's the thing I gotta get my head around, is how excellencies work.
Yeah, spend
Okay.
them, you get extra dice.
I'm sorry, you said you get extra...
Extra dice.
Ah.
You're basically, like, spending essence to get extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably what you just said, but you cut out so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, my character sheet's being weird. Would any of this have anything to do with a lore? With lore of any type? I mean, would I know of any?
Occult's really the more appropriate one.
Right, I'm just asking because I have a harmonious academic method charm.
Ah, yes.
And this is automatic
Lore
6
might be
lore
relevant.
roll. Huh?
Lore might be relevant, but your difficulty is going to be far higher.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and use occult.
Uh-huh.
Give me just one sec. Okay, I don't have any charms that would specifically apply to that. But I will take it, and I will. May I? I may be able to tell a little bit about this gem.
By all means, all I can tell is that it is unusual and different.
Sorry, I'm trying to, because I use push to talk because I have the kiddo with me. I'm trying to get out of a text field because right now I have a description that has a bunch of extra cues in it. All right, so I will clear off a space. I mean, I sincerely doubt this thing is going to explode on me, but I will clear out a space and set it down, and then I will, just like I was observing a patient, I will weigh it. I will describe the color, the glow, if it's a particular cut, anything that I can think of to better describe the gem and to kind of make me just concentrate more on it. And then I will go ahead and roll my occult. And because I'm rolling occult, we're going to play this up a little bit. It's going to be on a nice little, silk scarf. There's going to be a couple of candles. I'm just kind of, I don't want to say I'm not putting on a seance type chicanery, but just, kind of getting myself kind of in that mindset of trying to figure out the hell this thing is. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and, am I going to get anything for setting a scene?
Yeah, the stunt, 2 dice, and a success. Why not?
Okay, I'm also going to drop a couple of extra motes in there for some bonus dice. Now we'll just do 3.
9 successes.
Okay, cool.
This black sapphire.
I'm listening. I'm just quiet because I'm cleaning off the table, so I am here.
Okay, yeah. This black sapphire is a bleak truths sapphire. It is a hearthstone, an underworld hearthstone, which adds 1 non-charm success on a read intention roll to discover intimacies rooted in sorrow or regret, and in still rolls to strengthen such intimate. How does old boy have a abyssal hearthstone?
So
that is a hell of a good question, and I like this dude less than I did 5 minutes ago.
So, in context, does any of that mean much to Cyclone, given his lack of skills and knowledge in this area, or does it just sound impressive and probably not good?
So a hearthstone is the stone that naturally forms at the center of a manse. So, for instance, Mofid Parviz has a hearthstone from his manse called the Gem of Day's Light, which glows like a miniature sun, illuminating everything within a mile's radius, as long as needed, and ghosts react to it as they do to the actual sun. But this is from a manse that is in the underworld. It is death aspected. It is a manse where abyssal, necrotic, underworld essence has formed into a place of ghostly power.
So, something akin to that thing that we fought after leaving the temple.
Yes, that would be very much an association that would make sense.
So, was Jarek trying to get into the Temple of Parviz's past, for lack of a better way to call it? I don't remember what we called it, but...
It's just called the Tomb, I think. I don't know if you renamed it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'll probably know in the next week or so when I go through editing that, but...
Which, by the way, if anybody hasn't heard the first episode of So definitely go listen to that. But yeah, so I don't know. That's a whole series of interesting questions.
Right.
Why does this dude have why does this
My
dude have an official Hearthstone?
My exact phrase is, "What the f?" And then I'm going to take the little square of silk that it is in. I am going to dump enough salt in there to cover the entire gem. I realize that this does nothing, and then I'm going to tie it up in a bundle and stick it on the table and be like, I do not know why Madhu Jarek has that, but I like him less now than I did an hour ago. And I didn't like him very much to start with.
Based on that, I tend to agree with you, although he was rather low on my list of people I like or even give a shit about. Definitely have to hear what Parviz or Nim have to say about that, but wow, that is something. And a man called the Spider. I wonder if would that allow him to tap into energies of those forces to do things?
How much does my character know about Hearthstones, John?
I mean, you've got Occult 4. You probably know as much as you personally do.
They are less, I believe, a vessel of storage and more conduit's not quite the right word. I think it would be more akin to a key to a lock that would then unlock the potential and tie that potential to you of a man's. Is that right, John?
Yes.
So while there might not be anything necessarily stored in this Hearthstone, it might, for lack of a better word, open a door or give its possessor access to something that might have that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular type of Hearthstone, well, let's just say whatever door it opens, it probably doesn't lead to a field of daisies.
Well, so I think it is decreed that we must keep this stone safe and away from anything. Tell me, I'll be paranoid, but he would not have a means to track this, would he?
I don't believe so. I believe that did he truly know what he were in possession of, it would not have been with his other gems for sale. There's, I mean, this has value, but not make sure. I would think that perhaps, I don't know that he knew what he had.
Well, definitely merits further investigation of this character. Perhaps I need to shadow him personally, and not just make his life unpleasant. Do we have some sort of strongbox for us that we inherited through the assimilation of the Van compound? Like, I feel like...
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. There'd be something along those lines.
You know, I feel like this is something we want to keep to us five, and you know, like, if that means one of us keeping it on our person, so be it, but like, this isn't even to be kept, you know, in the company strongbox. This is our private stash, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless someone else has ideas regarding that, you know, and obviously Saelen knows more about vastly the most about this of any of us present. So I mean, I would be on board if Saelen is willing for them to keep it currently, just because to me it's a pretty rock, and to you it seems you at least have more of an understanding of it.
Yeah, I'll be happy. If nothing else, I'll, tell Hellbore to go hide it. Good luck trying to get that information out of the crow. Or the raven, or whatever. He's a crow, right?
But I think at this point, we've kind of set Spots up as the junkyard dog of the compound. Because I know I haven't been using him much for anything, but that seems like a good use for him.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Saelen, I was wondering, are there any supplies that you would find particularly useful for your clinic endeavors? Might be, can't always just take things for monetary gain, but what you don't have to spend doesn't cost you money either.
And blah! I could use a list of this and that and the other thing, and, hell, anybody want to set up a food pantry? I mean, I'm fine. I'm like, ooh, what could I do?
Well, basically, in my mind, what Cyclone is wanting to do is very much kind of set up almost to parallel it to kind of a Robin Hood, lore type thing of I want to solidify our support amongst the masses so that when we make our move, we have a chance of not having to watch our backs nearly as much. So helping your cause and at the expense, hopefully mostly of those who support Gem is kind of my entire driving thing here.
And that dovetails actually extremely well with what I'm trying to do. Hey, John, one of the things that I will do is slowly but surely, because this is one of my favorite things to do in Exalted, is start adding little bits of more sun iconography and very slowly spinning up a Cult of the Sun style temple.
Mm-hmm. All right. In the meantime, the Oathbound need to go guard the gate. So, let me back up. Give you some context. The city has multiple gates. The north, the east, the south. Those are all major gates for caravans and merchants. Trade flows through there. The south gate has the road called the Lion's Pride, or the Lion's Prowl, excuse me, that goes from there to Masingala Hill at the center of the city, which is a sprawling walled compound encompassing the Lion God Temple Gardens. Okay? Those are all big gates, a lot of big those are controlled by mercenaries because, well, of course they are. But the one in the west is typically guarded by nobles and their retainers as a point of honor. It is a gate that has ritual significance. It is the gate where, when you are petitioning to be made a citizen of Origin, you come to this gate. Wandering priests and spirits often come and go by this gate, and many offerings are left there for the various spirits. It is an important gate, and it is also the primary access into the rest of it. It doesn't go to the big trade route. It goes into the river valleys, or the river valley, and the agricultural areas and places to hunt. And this is kind of like the lifeblood of the ordinary people's economy, not the wealthy traders and what. So that's why this gate is important and why it is significant. That's why it is significant that you guys have been asked to guard it.
Quick question: has Finn, or were we around to get a glimpse of the discussion between him and the was it Paymaster?
I'm sure you've had the opportunity to discuss it at this point.
Okay.
I was going to say, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that I want to make sure that I am in the area for the start of the Oathbound's first shift.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it seems like there's some potential for some troublemaking.
Yes, I was actually going to say exactly the same thing. Maybe one of us set up, so to speak, looking outward, one inward, and keep an eye for incoming suspicion, of shenaniganry.
Okay.
I don't know if Finn has any input on that. But yeah, I like where you're going with that, and that, is this guy going to try and cause trouble for us? And, let's keep an eye out for that.
Well, yeah, Finn's definitely expecting there to be some trouble in regards to Jim trying to disrupt this.
Okay. So, at first it seems to go pretty well. They inspect the incoming carts or beasts of burden for illegal cargo or cargo that isn't in accord with what they've been told the cargo is, and don't, there's not any issues at first. Then there's a noble with their retinue coming through, and the Oathbound sergeant and troops, excuse me, they're very polite about it, but they're going to inspect the mules that are carrying the baggage, and they're told, somebody, yells. The noble tries to argue with them. Some of the noble servants try to argue with them, and they just very, very politely and professionally go, "No, this is our job. We're going to do it." And as you guys are starting to see this, there's one of the and you guys are turning your attention this way. You hear one of the noble servants shout something about, you will not touch us, you outland, you foreign dog, go back to wherever you came from, and spits on the soldier, and the soldier rears back and punches the servant dead in the face. What are you guys going to do?
I mean, Finn's going to interject, and he'll grab the soldier kind of by the shoulder there and just kind of move him back a little bit. It's like, you need to take a moment, step away, and he'll kind of intervene at this point to the servant. And it's like, and I believe you need to do the same. And I'll look over toward the nobleman.
He's pissed. He says, your man struck my servant. I would be a poor master if I allowed my servant to be abused for any reason. I find your presence here an insult. I find your actions overbearing, and now you've shown yourselves to be undisciplined. and violent. Exactly what I thought a mercenary. Exactly why a mercenary shouldn't be in this prestigious position.
Then just takes it in, the information. Well, I do humbly beg your forgiveness for the actions of my soldier, though he was responding to a rather undisciplined servant, if I might also interject. But, be that as it may, we have been ordered by the prince of this city to inspect the baggage. Do you have a special dispensation from the prince that we do not need to inspect these holdings? That he's just kind of fixing it with a stare.
I should not need such a thing. My family has been noble in this city since it was founded.
Yet here we are, and you will need one. If you wish to come back after you've acquired one, we will obviously allow you to pass afterward. Until then, I'm sure you'll respect the wishes of the nobility here, as you would want your wishes respected.
And he's
How does the
standing there.
servant look?
I mean, he just got punched in the face by a guy who's fairly strong.
Okay.
He's bleeding all over. His nose is bleeding and may be broken.
I will, with my whatever identifies a doctor in this area, because I've adopted that, I will approach. And first I'm going to look at the mercenaries' knuckles and make sure that they're not broken. And then I will turn my attention to the servant, and I will kind of draw him away just a little bit so that Finn and this merchant can keep discussing things. And I will, let me treat your nose, sir. You're getting blood everywhere.
The servant is willing to tolerate that.
I think
The noble is still.
I would say, well, this is going on. I think Cyclone would like to keep an eye to make sure this isn't a distraction to allow something else to go on.
You don't think it is, but give me a perception awareness roll.
Okay. Nothing special.
Oh, hello. You do notice that there is a. You do notice that there is a cheerful woman who is selling fruit by the gate, and seems really, really interested in this whole thing. Meanwhile, the noble is, do you know who my uncle is? And he's like, an apology is good, but not enough. He wants you to punish your soldier for his indent.
He will be disciplined. He just simply leaves it at that.
So, I think... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish that part of the scene. I have something to do with it.
He said, okay. He says, insufficient. I want to know what you plan to do about it, and I may want to witness it.
I mean, if you want to witness docked pay, I suppose you could follow him around. That doesn't. I assume he probably doesn't have the same pastimes as you do, sir.
Docked pay? You think this is adequate?
And what is your suggestion?
I would prefer to have him flogged.
For punching your servant? You spit on him?
My servant will be dealt with accordingly.
Oh. Could I witness this, and do I get to have input?
No.
Then I fail to see where this goes. Do you lead mercenaries?
Good God. I have some dignity.
Well, then leave this decision to those that do, and I will leave the handling of your servants to you.
He seems to be pissed, but he's willing to walk away. And there's people who manage to, they leave. They submit to the baggage inspection. They're sulking about it, but they are doing it. And at the end, he says, "Are you familiar with the House of Belhanar?"
Would Finn be familiar with that house, or?
I don't know. How well do you follow Origin noble politics?
He would not be familiar with that house. No.
I expect my uncle will have some to say in the assembly. And they walk off. Or not walk off, ride off. Right. So, Steve, you had a comment about the...
Just a little bit. I wanted to go up and kind of engage the fruit vendor and kind of put on a show of, taking a couple pieces of fruit and like juggling them, kind of to create a distraction in a sense, but also probably draw a little bit of a crowd. And I'll happily pay her for any of the fruit involved, probably pass off a few pieces to random kids running around, essentially just to create a little bit of hubbub around her to interfere with her nibbing at everything going on.
She tolerates it. Asks, so who are you? And,
Oh, I'm a traveling performer, workman. I do many things, but, good fruit is always fun to make a show with, and, well, the kids love it.
You seem to be associated with these mercenaries. What's your role here?
How do you associate a juggler with mercenaries?
Well, when you arrive at the same time they do, and start performing when they're at you.
Oh, come now. What? Things happen, and, well,
If you say so, then that's not a worry. And she goes back to selling fruit, and some of the mercenaries that aren't like the ones right on the gate are like taking turns going over and buying a couple of fruit and passing it back. And she seems to be really interested in talking to them. She's asking things like, "Oh, where are you from? Gosh, how long have you been in? What do you think about the whole change of? I heard a rumor that the Fangs had turned over. Had started a new tradition. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about your commander? Oh, Captain Velasquez, tell me about him. Where's he from? How long's he been in command?"
So, I think, not going to do it, obviously, once things have calmed down with the situation, I will let Finn know, hey, Fruit Lady over here is clearly a spy for someone. We don't know who. She's trying to get information from the men. Might want to advise them to, be professional, but not let anything slip. I'm not sure who she's working for, but she's up to more than selling fruit.
Just kind of gives a heavy sigh as like this day needs to end.
And you can circulate that information as you want. I just feel like it's the type of thing we should make them aware of.
We'll start having some of the I guess he'll start trying to orchestrate their breaks to be more together and with someone overseeing them.
Okay.
So just that they're not as prone to dally or to get into longer conversations.
So, Jen, push the button.
I did. My computer locked up and I didn't realize it.
Okay, sorry. I could hear you talking downstairs, and anyway.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I had reached over to do push to talk and didn't realize my Mac had locked. If just because I'm hanging about, I'll kind of overhear the whole, who is this lady working for? So I will actually go purchase a rather, not inconsiderable amount of fruit and bread and whatnot, and set up kind of near, I guess, I'm assuming there's a guardhouse, a gatehouse, something where there's, where the guards change, where shift change is done and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll set up a, just to kind of, minimize the amount of chit chat, especially if both Cyclone and Finn are, side-eyeing the fruit seller. I will set up a table and just, set out bread and fruit and drinks for the men, so that way as they're going, they can rotate in and out and grab snacks.
Okay. Good
Oh,
idea.
dear God, my inner NCO is coming out to play. I think I need a drink.
Yeah. So, you guys have said that. The next couple of days aren't terribly. There's some minor kerfuffles, but the Oathbound are handling it professionally. And then on the last day, there's an interesting thing happen. A individual, and I'm being generous with this. It's a tall, androgynous figure of cracked river stone, with channels of silt and copper coursing through its veins, or through its limbs like old river beds, carrying a staff made of dry reed wrapped in prayer cords and long crumpled altar, and its eyes flowed constantly. He approaches, or it approaches, and announces itself as Vamanu of the Last Basin. Taps its staff, almost expecting to and he says, I was once poured into your cups. I made your rice fields bow. The city changed course. It forgot me. Now I come to ask, not to rule or bind, but to belong again. Let me through. Let me serve. I will bless stonework of the wall. Keep watch for spirits who mean you ill. But it is time I belong.
So, what would any of us know of a being like this?
You're not sure whether he's a terrestrial god or an elemental. You're not sure what he's in charge of, and you're not sure why, what the legality about accepting a spirit into the city is.
So did we have a means of contacting the Exalt that was the prince's, like the head of the prince's private guard?
Lokras.
Yes.
I mean, you know where his unit is, and you've probably got an idea of where his, you could send runners to either of those two places.
I feel like unless one of the other players has a better, I think Cyclone's kind of primary instinct is to actually personally head off for this individual, feeling like I could probably make better time than even a runner. Just because, boy, unless someone else here knows something, this should at least be known to them, and maybe they do have a protocol that we don't know about.
Okay. So you're sending runners to find Lokra.
Yeah, as well as I think myself, honestly. Like I said, unless someone else has information that would indicate otherwise, because I'm far and away the least knowledgeable player involved as far as the world itself.
I don't know if a cult would be of any use here.
I mean, for dealing with a spirit, think about what you just said.
Okay, that was dumb.
Okay.
I assume that I am smelling ozone all over the place.
Ozone.
I have uncanny perception technique.
Oh, yes. You are smelling ozone. This guy is definitely a spirit. It's the only one present as far as you know. And he has materialized, so everybody can see him.
And remind player, spirits and are spirits and gods different?
God is a subtype of spirit.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. Okay. I will approach him. And since I think Cyclone has gone to find the perhaps the correct authority to deal with the spirit, I will ask him. I will, look at the spirit. And I'm sorry, what did you say his name was, John?
Romano of the Last Basin.
Okay, what was the first part of his name? Because you kind of cut out on me.
Vamanu. Vamanu.
All right. Vamanu of the Lost Basin.
Yes.
How long has it been since you have visited this city?
I was once patron of a branch of the Ama River before it was dammed and redirected 40 years ago.
And you said that you would bless the stonework.
And I would do what I can for the city. And yes, I can bless stonework and strengthen it against water, erosion, that sort of thing.
I see. We do not wish to direct you falsely, so I would ask that you would wait with me until we can correctly guide you to perhaps a new home within the city.
This is what I request. I wish to belong again. It has been long since I have tasted the sweetness of Pereiro, the heady scent of ensign.
I understand. Would you wait with me for just a few moments?
I have waited 40 years. I can wait a few more. Steve, you get to whichever place it was that you went to, that's where Locris was. And when he gets your read on the situation, he suggests he sends some of his men to go grab the priest, and he will head to the gate with you.
Okay. Yeah, that was, my look, I'm sorry to bother you, but this situation has occurred, and, it wasn't in our instructions, and it feels like it should be handled properly.
Yes, he fully agrees, and he's going to send for some priests as well. So, okay. Jen, continue.
I will take the spirit, and I realize that I don't really have a great method to get a read on the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have as far as I can tell, there's no, read intentions on a spirit. No. You may not have that,
why wouldn't there be?
Well, I don't think I have read intentions, so...
Jen, that is something you can do.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to attempt to read intentions on him. I'm going to bring him to a nice stone bench.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm going there, I will snag a piece of fruit off the table.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming that there are like merchants set up kind of by the gate.
Well, yeah.
You know, like almost like a flea market. I'm gonna zip off and find the one dude selling like little tiny cones of incense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do read intentions on the spirit, provided he doesn't like give me any funky vibe. You know, provided he passes the vibe check. I'll sit him on the stone bench, put the piece of fruit next to him, and light the incense for him. But let me go ahead and do the okay. What am I using? No, I just managed to back myself out of the game, so I lost my character sheet.
Okay.
Alright, so since I am attempting to read intentions on a spirit, give me just 1 sec. Alright, I'm going to I mean, this is kind of socialized, so I'm assuming perception socialized?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And since I've been chatting with him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll have the orange and the incense, but I'm not going to light the incense or whatever piece of fruit until after I do perception and awareness. So,
Okay. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to determine his intimacy or his intention in this conversation?
his intention in our interactions.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Oh, that sucks. 4.
4. That's perfectly good. No, you can tell he's being very straightforward. He hopes to gain entry into the city, which will and establish a shrine.
Okay. Then I will light a little bit of incense, and I will, bow my head respectfully and say, I hope you find welcome here. I hope that you are able to return to a place you can call home.
About that time, Steve turns with Locras and some priests, and the spirit stands up, slowly, dignified, and sort of says, "This I have not seen in a long time. The princes of the earth, in this accord, the lawgiver, and the children of the dragons. Very interesting. So, and he says, how may I address you?" And Locras introduces himself, introduces the priest of Masangala, and also of Omanala, the city mother. And Vomanu says, "Indeed, I intend not to challenge. I wish to belong." And so there is actually a rite conducted by the priests of Masangala and the priests of Omanala to welcome a god into the city as long as he is here for lawful purposes. And as they're conducting it, you notice that the crowd that had gathered to watch is kind of turned a little bit positive. They were like, this is an omen, what's going on, so on and so forth. And they've turned and gone, hey, they've turned their attitude and started saying, these mercenaries followed tradition, they followed the forms. This is good. Now this is a good omen. And on that good omen note, I would like to take a 10 or 15 minute, 10-minute break and get some food inside me before we finish the game session. Cool?
I think that's an excellent plan.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. See y'all in a few.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast, on Discord at Me and Steve RPGs, and as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.